Hey everybody, welcome back to Premium Picks. Today we are going to give you our first initial thoughts and predictions for UFC 304. It is featuring Leon Edwards versus Bilal Muhammad, the rematch, and also Tom Aspinall versus Razor Blaydes, the rematch as well. Pretty decent card from the UK, should be all right. Please like, please subscribe, and let's break down this 14 fight card. And the order has changed many times, so bear with us if you're seeing a different order. It's literally flipped every single day. First fight of the night, we've got Shauna Bannon versus Alice Ardelean. This is a very low-level women's fight. I would not have confidence on either side. Shauna Bannon probably wants to strike it out, but she's really not great. She's fairly tough. All the overs are live. I think even like a split decision would be live. I think you're looking at a 2 rounds to 1 for somebody. Um, I don't know. I don't love it. I don't feel confident on either side. If one girl is coming in at good dog odds, I would take the dog, to be honest. At dead evens, maybe Shauna Bannon will get the rub because they like her. They seem to, I don't know, maybe they like her look or like her personality. I think they want her to win, but truth be told, I could see Alice winning this fight. Dog or pass, not confident. What do you think?
Well, Shauna Bannon's a minus 210, which is huge. And yeah,
Shouldn't be.
yeah, never should be that. Anyway, so this is an odds pick anyway. So Alice Ardelean or whatever her name is, I watched some of her fights. She's well known for losing to Diana Belbita and also losing to champion Weili Zhang too. So in her shitty low-level career, she's already faced better competition than Shanna Bannon actually ever has touched on in the octagon at all. So like that's a plus. Like even though she lost, she's faced that type of fighter. You know what I mean? Just to be in there with that type of fighter. Now, Shanna Bannon let Bruna Brazil control the entire fight the last time they fought. Let her control the center, let her control the grappling, let her control the striking. And we'll get to Bruna later in this fucking fight card, but like that's not a good look when you let Bruna Brazil control the entire fight card, man. Now you're a minus 210 favorite because, if this Alice Ardelean Darrell does anything well, she comes forward, she pressures, she goes for it, and that might be enough in a fight like this. So I'm not confident, but plus 175 is way better odds than taking a minus 210 on a girl like Shanna Bannon.
I agree 100%. Moving on, we've got heavyweights Mick Parkin 9-0 versus Lucas Brzeski 9-4-1. I feel pretty damn good about Mick Parkin here. I think he's boring as hell, but he has very good takedown defense. He's not going to get taken down, and in a fight that's going to play out on the feet, I think he's going to jab his way to victory here. I mean, he's not a big knockout guy. He's probably not going to lay him out or anything like that, but he's got a pretty effective jab, pretty good 1-2s, pretty decent defense. I know his close win over Usman is not going to age well after Usman looked absolutely horrible on the weekend. But McParkin has done this to almost everybody he fights. Almost everyone he fights, his fights look the same. They're always decisions. McParkin and over. McParkin and over. Extra value. McParkin over 1.5. McParkin decision. Um, uh, he's not going to get taken down, and he's going to win with his jab. That's what I think. What do you think?
I think he'll win with his jab, but I also think he has better takedowns than Lucas Brzeski. I think he beat Walter Walker, but he still got taken down by Walter Walker a shit ton in that fight, and he's been taken down a ton of times. And Mick Parkin, I mean, in his last few fights, he does look like he kind of tires out as the fight goes on, and when he does, he kind of leans on the grappling and the grinding and all that stuff, and I think that works here. Um, I think he's just the overall better fighter in this case. I think Brzeski, he should be 2-2. That Budai fight he should have won, but yeah, I think overall the mix just the better fighter, the more well-rounded fighter, the better striking, and by far the better ground game. I think that's the tipping scale, and minus 275 seems fair right now. Actually, could be a good parlay piece. I think by fight night that's gonna balloon to like minus 400. To be honest with you.
I hit him at minus 200 a couple days ago.
Yeah, I should have done it. I'm probably gonna do it tomorrow at minus 275. I'm gonna find something else.
All right, next fight of the night. Back to the welterweight division. We've got Sam Patterson 11-1 versus Kiefer Crosbie 10-4. Sam Patterson is the much more technical fighter here. He should have a significant advantage if the grappling gets going, and if it doesn't get going, he still should be okay at striking. As long as he doesn't get chinned here, he wins the fight. And you're always gonna have that fear of him getting knocked out after Ashmus just obliterated him in his debut there in the UFC or whatever. So after that fight, I had no confidence in the guy, but he rebounded. He looked pretty good last fight. He got the finish. Kiefer Crosbie, I wouldn't say he's amazing at anything. He's just a fairly tough, hard hitting guy. So is he capable of knocking Sam Patterson out? Absolutely. So I mean definitely, if you're on the Crosby side, it's by knockout for extra value. I think this fight doesn't go the distance regardless. I see a finish here. I'm going to take Patterson. I think he learned from that brutal knockout loss. I think he's going to be careful. I don't think he's going to get knocked out here, and I'll take him. But I fully understand the Crosby knockout side as well. What do you think?
I think Patterson's the more well-rounded guy, but his striking isn't like that much ahead of Crosby in the sense that I don't think he has the power to put Crosby out. If he's going to put him out, he's going to do it the same way he's done it to Johan Lioness. Um, but this fight has a lot of similarities to the Ashmove fight, right? A smaller, stockier guy with big power in their hands, and a guy that stands straight up, plays tall man defense. Uh, Not quite worth the minus 350 price tag that's on him right now, right?
He's
So
minus 350?
yeah, that is
Holy shit. I didn't
yeah,
know that.
I don't know if I can get to minus 350. I really can't get. I ain't gonna lie. Why would I lie to the viewers? I can't get to minus 350. I mean, if I have a couple beers in me and I am having a good night, I might stab Kiefer by knockout, whatever number comes out, whatever it is. But yeah, I'm not betting on Sam Patterson. I don't find him particularly parlayable either. And yeah, minus 350 stinks.
The guy looks like fucking Facebook guy, whatever the fuck the guy. What's
Oh,
that guy's
Mark
name?
Zuckerberg. Yeah, he does
He
kind
looks like fucking Zuckerberg, man. There's no
of
fucking way I'm betting
he
Zuckerberg
does
at
kind
minus
of look like
350.
Mark Zuckerberg. But now that you look at it, Jesus.
All right. My order must be fucked up here because I see Muhammad Mokaev versus Manel Kape as the next fight, which is insane to me because this is one of the fights that I'm the most interested in. These two have a lot of bad blood. Apparently, Kape actually sucker hit Mokaev just a week or two ago outside the gym. So these two like hate each other. And I mean, this fight comes down to two things. Mokaev wrestle fucks Manel Kape, which has been done to a certain degree in the past. Now, Kape does actually have good sweeps. He does have better grappling than people give him credit for. I think his grappling is not bad by any means. Or Kape knocks him out. But the problem is Mokaev's never been knocked out, so it's hard to bank on that. Like, I think the whole world is rooting for Manel Kape to knock out Mokaev. I'm rooting for it big time. I find Mokaev boring as fuck. Uh, but if there's one thing Mokaev does, it's he's going to stick to the game plan and he's going to dive for the legs the whole fight. Now, some of his takedowns look terrible. Like, they're so telegraphed. Sometimes he just kind of lies there with his head down on his knees, and it's like, I don't like that look at all. And I think Manel Kape is one of the dark horses of this division. I think on any given night, this guy can be the champion. Like, he can knock out anybody. So I really want to pick Kape, but I was hoping he would be a big dog. And last I looked, they were pretty damn even. So at evens, the value is probably on Mokaev to blanket fuck him. If Manel Kape comes in as a big dog, if he hits plus 200, I'm hitting Manel Kape. But I think Mokaev will grind it out in boring ass Mokaev fashion. What do you think?
I don't think he's gonna do it. I don't think so. I think this is the chin check. I think I think this is the Mokaev like red flag fight. Everybody's okay, so like yeah, what does he do? He shoots takedowns. Yeah, he gets multiple takedowns. So he's getting 3 takedowns out of 20, right? Or guys are getting up, like Alex Perez is getting up, or he's not. It's not been the same. It's not like control's only going to go so far. I don't think he can blanket fuck Manal Cap. But okay, so bring Mokaev back into his first fight. Whoever they put him on, they've moved him along really slowly. Whatever. I've seen the progression, and he finally got an Alex Perez. Think about this narrative, but like when Cop came into the UFC, what was his first fight?
Antoja.
Alexander Pantoja. Who took down Pantoja twice? Manal Cop. Who got outstruck, which was weird because Pantoja outstruck him. But it is what it is. Pantoja is championship
It was
material,
just
right?
leg kicks.
Yeah, it is what it is, right? Like, okay, it was a close fight, and that's all. Cop's only problem is he fights close, right? That Nicolau fight, he got taken down twice, but like, it's not like Nicolau had all this control time over him. And like, look at all the past fights. Ode Osborne, nothing. Jula Zumagulov, who's the wrestler, nothing. David Dvorak took him down twice, but he got up and still won that. And he took down Philip Poussin. So I don't know. He hasn't been wet blanketed in a few years. He hasn't been taken down and repeatedly sat on in a few years. And Mokaev looked like absolute turd on the feet. He can't. If this is in kickboxing range for any, he's gonna fucking panic wrestle because he can't stand there. He's not gonna be able to stand with him. And I just think Cop's get-ups are good enough. I think his defensive wrestling is good enough to make this a kickboxing match. And as if this is a kickboxing match, Manal Cop wins. Money's coming in on Mokaev. Manal Cop sits at plus 125. I'm gonna wait on that line. I still like him though. I really do like him this week as an underdog.
Hey man, I hope you're right because I'm a big Cop fan. Like I said, I think he can be champion given the right matchups.
Yeah, man.
All right, moving on to the welterweight division, we got Oban Elliott 10-2 versus Preston Parsons 11-4. Elliott, I thought looked like shit last fight against Val Woodburn. I thought he looked garbage. Preston Parsons, I thought looked amazing last fight. Now he's had performances where he didn't look so good. Usually he's kind of known as being a great, dangerous jiu-jitsu grappler, but his striking looked great last fight. And Oban Elliott looked like he can't strike. It looks like he has to grind and wrestle to win. And I don't think he's going to want to wrestle Preston Parsons because I think Preston Parsons is way too dangerous on the ground. And I think Preston Parsons is more dangerous on the feet. So the only way Elliott wins this to me is by grinding and like holding wall install, what lay, pray, whatever, kill the clock. I ain't betting on those kind of guys. I mean, is it possible? Of course. But I'm going to say Preston Parsons is the more dangerous fighter everywhere the fight goes. So I'm going to take Preston Parsons. What do you think?
I think both their striking leaves a little bit to the mind, but both of them aren't that great on the feet. Preston Parsons, I saw great control by Miles Johns. So when Preston can take down his opponents, like his last fight, who did he fight? 7-0, 7 takedowns. I remember he had 7 or 8 takedowns. So yeah, so when he can do that, he's gonna win. It was Smellsberger, right?
Ellsbury, yeah.
Yeah, and he also took down not Miles Johns. It was Trevin Giles. Took down Trevin Giles 3 times, still lost the fight. So um, that just shows like better striking in this matchup will win. But neither of these guys have the power to finish this. I think this is Oban Elliott's a fucking grinding wrestler, man. He got knocked down twice against Val Woodburn, if I can't remember. I think it might have been once, at least once, maybe twice, and still won that fight. It's because he took him down 3 times, and he took his other opponent down 4 times. So I don't think he minds playing in Preston's guard, um, because that's just the way he fights. His striking looks kind of trashy, and Preston's getting better, a lot better. So, yeah, I mean, I'm leaning Preston Parsons here, but you know what I really like is the fight goes to decision or fight over 2.5. I do think this becomes a grindy affair.
Fair enough. Moving on to the light heavyweight division, we got Modestas Bukauskas versus Marcin Prachnio. Bukauskas, 15-6, is a mainly kickboxer. Not the most heavy-handed, dangerous, violent guy, but he's pretty good at staying on the outside, using his range, using his length, and just kind of just racking up points. Marcin Prachnio kind of has a strange style. He's not necessarily the most technical guy, even though he does have a striking background. He kind of strikes funny to me. He looks a little bit funny. He can be knocked out. He probably has the more power as well, to be honest. But again, I think Bukauskas is the more technical, the more clean, the more volume. I don't know. I think Bukauskas is going to win this fight. I don't see Prachnio winning by leg kicks like he did a few fights ago against
William Knight.
yeah, like the most fucking boring. Yeah, the guy who just stood there was a fucking human punching bag or whatever, kicking bag. I
Yeah.
don't see that happening. I think Bukauskas wins the fight. I think the overs are all alive because I think they're just going to kind of strike at range. They're not really going to enter the pocket and throw bombs. I like Bukauskas and an over and 1.5. What do you think?
Bukauskas is like a rangy kickboxer, right? But like, I'd like it if he threw a little. He's not bad, but I'd like it if he threw a little bit more volume. But you're looking at like on an average like 50, 60 strikes per match, like a very slow paced fight. You know what I mean? And Prachnio is karate based, and he's a big kicker, right? So like, unless Bukauskas catches him in the chin. Pacquiao used to be known as the guy with the glass chin, and then he survived his last few fights. Even I think he won a fight against Khalil Roundtree, didn't he? Or was a good, really nice fight against Khalil Roundtree. Whatever. What I really like is I want to see where this fight gets lined. I want to see if they line it at like a 1.5 because I'll smash the over on that one for sure, right? I mean, this guy aside from getting like finished by Vitor Petrino, uh, he's gone decision for the last 5 times. He won a decision against Khalil Roundtree and outstruck him 102 to 49. That's actually a good win. It's not a bad win. That's better than any win that Modestus has ever had, right? So I don't know. I like the overs over 2.5, over 1.5, and I lean Bukauskas, but when we do our bet show, maybe I'll change my mind.
Yep, fair enough. All right, next fight of the night, 135-pound division. We got Calvin Loughran 9-1 versus Jake Hadley 10-3. This is a very strange matchup to me. Jake Hadley is a dangerous guy when he can submit you. When he can't submit you, I don't know. I think he's lost a lot of stock, and I'm not really too sure. This fight is more of a for me, this fight is going to tell us more about Cowlin than it's going to tell us about Hadley. I kind of know what we're getting with Jake Hadley. This Loughran, or however you pronounce his name, he's the one that we're not 100% sure on. We're not sold whether he's good or whether he's shit. We don't really know. But I think he's going to be just the physically stronger, imposing person here. So I think he's not going to get submitted, and he will be the one who's usually like on top or in the more dominant position. So while he's not overly, I mean, he's got finishes, but I still don't find him like a dangerous striker or lethal anything. I think that he is going to be the minute winner here. What do you think?
I think so too. I think his wrestling's better than Hadley's. I think his control is better than Hadley's. I think that he's bigger than Hadley. I think he's stronger than Hadley. Hadley's moving up a division. I find that Jake Hadley kind of fades as the fight goes on. Um, Neither of their striking is amazing. It's not bad, but neither of them is like you would be like, oh, this guy's a technical striker. No, no, no. I think Colin Loughran, I think he's just going to use that old farm boy strength that he has, push Hadley all over the place, push him up against the wall, take him down, ride him out, punch him in the face. Jake will take it. He's a tough dude. You know what I mean? Unless he death gasses. But this kind of reminds me of that Jake Hadley versus Alan Cemento fight that he had. And Jake Hadley was coming in on a high note on that Alan Cemento fight, and he just got ragdolled by the bigger guy. And I feel like he gets ragdolled by the bigger guy here. The odds on Loughran are like mid 200s, so I think that's not too bad. Minus 225, I think, coupled along with maybe Mick Parkin, and you can start the start of a good ticket.
All right. Moving on, ladies strawweight division, we got Molly Meatball McCann 14-6 versus Bruna Brasil 9-4-1. I am obviously not a Molly McCann fan, and I still don't like her at these odds because she seems very wide. But she should win this fight. Like anybody who has any kind of fucking grappling or submissions, I'm gonna take her to tap Molly McCann every single time. But Bruna Brasil, not very good. Not very good at all. Even like for being a striker, I don't find her striking very good either. So I just think Molly will be able to just walk straight forward without having to be too like scared or like too much. Like there's not going to be too many things to fear here. She should be able to march straight forward, take her down at will. Bruna is not some submission artist off her back, not some submission artist at all, really, in my opinion. So Molly should be able to maul her, to be honest. She should be able to take her down and pound her, is what I think. Uh, but again, I don't think Molly's great at all. I don't like her, but it feels like a setup fight. We're in the UK. Molly should pound this poor girl. I think. I don't think Bruna Brazil is good. She's never done anything to impress me, at least. What do you think?
Britain Brazil's, I think, only win in the fucking one against Shayna Bannon, right? So that doesn't really say much about her. She's low volume. Um, she had the Contender Series knockout, I believe it was. So she came in as like this knockout artist into the UFC. Otherwise, to get knocked out by Denise Gomes, right? And so this kind of fight kind of reminds me of a Denise Gomes fight because Denise Gomes is not technical. She just comes like a ball of fire right at you. Molly is not technical and comes out like a ball of fire right at you. I don't even think she needs to take it down. I think she can just overwhelm her. It's just like it's what Shayna Bannon should have done is overwhelm Bruna because she wants to throw one at a time, one at a time. But Molly shows if she can throw seven at a time, then Bruno's kind of like attack is thwarted, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean the only risk I see here is Molly rushing in like she always does, and Bruna actually has that. I think Bruna does have the power advantage here. I'll say that much. Molly would have to overwhelm her. I don't think she can one. At least I've seen Bruna fucking one kick someone or one punch someone. So Molly's got to kind of mind her P's and Q's. Can't come in like a meatball, if you know what I'm saying. Just come in. You can pressure. You get in her face, but do it smart. There's a lot of fighters that can do that smart. And I don't know if minus 300 is what I want to do for Molly McCann. So what I really like is the under here. It's like plus 120. So I do think this fight actually finishes. I've seen Bruna Brazil get overwhelmed before, right? So I feel like she gets overwhelmed here. I'm not, but I will not play Molly McCann at minus 300 on the money line.
No, definitely not. All right, moving on. We've got fan favorite Nathaniel Wood, 19-6, versus the dangerous for one round Daniel Pineda, 28-15. Daniel actually is not a terrible fighter, but he has a terrible gas tank, and that probably has something to do with his USADA past. And then, well, I mean, he's had times where he's completely out of shape, and he says times where he's jacked, and then he gets popped. So you don't really know what you're getting with the guy, but he is dangerous. Honestly, he is. His striking's not terrible for the first round, but his grappling is really good. Like he is a very good submission grappler. Nathaniel Wood, some people get a little defensive when you call him chinny, but I think he is chinny. I think he's been dropped almost every fight he's in. But I don't know if that means he's chinny or if that means he has a good chin because he generally does recover. I bet against him last fight. I won. I'm one of the few that doesn't really like Nathaniel Wood personally, and I don't think I'm playing him at minus 400 or whatever he's at. I think he's at something crazy like that. Uh, he should win this. He should win this fight. He should win this fight with cardio, speed, striking as the fight progresses. He's going to have to be careful the first round, and then he should take over. But I'm not a big Nathaniel Wood fan, and I will not be playing him at those odds. What do you think?
I think he's the more well-rounded fighter, as in like cardio, the whole shebang. He's the more technical striker, but he has no power. I also think that he's undersized for this division, and Pineda is going to dwarf him. That's the biggest issue here. Can Pineda actually push him around? I think the takedown is live for Pineda in that first round and a half. He can get him down. I don't know what he's going to do with it if when he does get him down. He is known for his submission game, but I mean as the fight progresses, the leg kicks and the jabs will add up. I don't think I really don't think Nathaniel Wood gets dropped here from a punch, but I do think the size of the two men that Pineda can push him around a little bit and grind him and outwork him. I do think that's possible. So for those reasons, I don't know if I'm gonna hit the minus 450. I do like Nathaniel Wood a lot, but I really do think there's the over 1.5 is I don't Nathaniel Wood doesn't finish he couldn't finish a sandwich, bro. He can't finish a sandwich. So like is I know that Pineda drops off a cliff and all that stuff. So that's why I won't go 2.5 on the over. You know what I mean? Because there's that chance that he gets finished in the third round. But like Honestly, I think the best spot, and you probably get decent odds, hopefully in the like minus 200 range to get the over 1.5. Because if at that price, I think it's gonna go over 1.5. That's my best spot on this fight here.
All right, fair enough. And moving on to the main card, please like and please subscribe. We do appreciate it. Opening up the main card, we're going to have the fan favorite. We're going to have Arnold Allen taking on Giga Chikadze. Uh, Arnold Allen, I don't even know how to describe him personally. Like I would say he's just a strong, tough athlete, kid, whatever. Good, generally good pace, good chin. Uh, yeah, like I don't think he's a specialist at striking. He's definitely not a specialist at wrestling or grappling. He's just a tough fucking kid, and I think that's going to be enough to beat Giga here. Giga is a hard-hitting striker, very good kicks, but he fades, and I mean he's durable, but he slows down, and he just makes a better hammer than nail. Like it's like when he's in complete control, the guy looks great, and then when he's not so much. And I think if Arnold, the one thing Arnold Allen I think can do here is at least pressure him enough to take away those kicks. And then if it's just like hands or whatever, Arnold's pressure, I just think Arnold Allen will win a decision here, or all the overs at least. I think Arnold Allen over 1.5 because I do not think Gigo can knock him out. And yeah, I just think Arnold's going to have the volume here. I think he's just the more well-rounded athlete, even though he's not a specialist at anything. I think Allen and over for me. What do you think?
Allen's a pretty good technical boxer. Doesn't really need to use the ground game. When he does use the ground game, if he has good fight IQ and he uses it at the right time, I do feel like he has the power advantage here. I know Giga hits hard. Giga is the kickboxing champion, but how many guys has Giga really finished? I'm not looking at his record. I'm not going to look at his record, but the only one that comes to mind is Cub Swanson. That's it. It was like a kick to the stomach. That's all I remember that. That's it. Giga doesn't finish anybody, man. So like, is he gonna finish Arnold Allen? No. Arnold Allen, from my liking, is a little low volume, and it kind of pisses me off because like I know he can throw a little bit more. Like he almost lost that Sadiq Yusuf fight. Like he got outstruck by Sadiq Yusuf, but he knocked him down twice, right? So that helps. That's why I'm saying he has a little bit of the power. So I think coupled with being the more well-rounded fighter, coupled with fighting in England, and coupled with this probably going to the judges' scorecard, I think Arnold Allen will win the fight, probably 29-28 on all the judges' scorecards. Because we're in England, I feel like he has the slight advantage a little bit because this is going to be a close matchup. But Giga, like you said, does fade. Arnold Allen does fade too, but not at the same rate as Giga. Giga, the volume just goes down by a lot. That first round is really good, and then but so yeah, I got Arnold Allen here. I'm confident, but I wish he would just throw some more freaking punches, man.
He's fought the better guys too.
Yeah, 100%. I'm saying it's fine, but like, man, he's so good, and he could throw some more. If he threw some more, that would be it.
All right. Moving on, middleweight division, we got Christian Leroy Duncan, 10-1 versus Gregory Robocop Rodriguez, 15-5. Robocop should have a huge grappling advantage if he even chooses to wrestle or if he can get it to the ground. On the feet, he's still probably the more technical striker. He's probably got the crisper hands, probably. Christian Leroy Duncan, extremely unorthodox, likes to fucking capoeira dance around the thing and throw strange ass strikes. Um, I mean, skill for skill, Gregory Rodriguez should win the fight. He's the better fighter. However, I think Christian Leroy Duncan has the speed advantage. I think he has the chin advantage. And I think he might have the power advantage as well. And Gregory Rodriguez, I know that he had that busted up eye and everyone thought he's the toughest guy in the world, but that was the eye. Like, I think the chin, I think he can be chinned. I wish Christian Leroy Duncan would throw more. If I knew he was going to come out and fucking throw down and stand in the pocket and make it a brawl, I think he could win this fight by knockout. But sometimes he's just so low volume and so disappointing. And I just don't want to put my money on him because I don't know what he's going to do. I don't want to put my money on Rodriguez either, to be honest. I mean, everything wants to bet CLD by knockout. Everything in me wants to pick him to knock out Rodriguez. I just don't know if the volume's going to be there. The fight's probably a pass for me. What do you think?
I'm kind of torn on this one. I like CLD's striking. His numbers seem okay actually. He finished both of his last two fights in the second round. He had 65 significant strikes at that point. So I don't find him super low volume.
That Petrosian fight, he did fucking nothing.
Yeah. But Petrosian did this. They made. I mean, Robocop lost to Petrosian too, right? So like, it's not. Maybe it's just Petrosian. He does like maybe it's just a Petrosian thing because Robocop. My biggest beef with him is he gonna wrestle or is he not gonna wrestle? That is the question. Flip the fucking coin because sometimes he chooses not to, sometimes he does, right? What he didn't choose to wrestle against Bruno Ferreira and it fucking hit him. If he chooses not to wrestle here, and this is a kickboxing match, I think he really is outmatched by the speed, man. And I don't know if he's a more technical boxer. He's Robocop. He's robotic. His movements are. He has a lot of power, but like any good striker can see it coming. And I think CLD has good head movement and being just a quicker guy on his feet. If this is a kickboxing match, this is CLD all day. I don't think he gets. I don't think RoboCop can get to him. But yeah, man, the grappling edge is huge. I just don't. When I was so sure about Verna, and I told you, like I said, yeah, she just goes for the fucking takedown. She'll just go and take her down, right? I don't know if Rodriguez is just gonna go and take him down. Like I can't be that sure with it. So for that reason, I'm gonna lean CLD.
Yep. All right, moving on to the featured fight. We've got King Bobby Green, 32-15-1 versus Paddy the Baddy Pimblett, 21-3. I'm on Bobby Green. I think unless he's a company man taking a fucking dive here and getting taken down right away, he should win this fight, in my opinion. I think Paddy is a little bit better than people rip on him for. I think he's probably tougher than everybody thinks. I think, yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. None of that shit matters. Bobby Green has a million times the hands that Paddy the Pimblett does on the feet. And if Bobby Green has this fucking collegiate wrestling background that I keep fucking hearing about from everybody, even though I've never seen it in a fight, he should be able to stuff a fucking Englishman's wrestling game. Like, Paddy Pimblett is not some power wrestler. He's a decent submission grappler if he gets you down. Absolutely. His grappling is legit, but his wrestling is not anything special. So Bobby Green should be able to stuff these takedowns, should be able to light him up. Unless he's a fucking company man taking a big paycheck here, I think Bobby Green wins this fight. So give me Bobby Green, just by being the way better striker. And if he has this fucking wrestling background that everybody says he has, then he should be able to stuff the English fighters' takedowns. What do you think?
I think I'm torn here because I think there's a hometown rub coming to Paddy Pimblett because I do think this fight.
He's had enough of those.
Nah, but I think this fight goes the distance. I think they're both going to stay in striking range. And unless Bobby gets taken down, which he hasn't got taken down really too much since Lando Venata, it's been pretty much clear sailing since then. Bobby's been doing the taking down. It's not been the other way. And for the last 6 or 7 fights, there hasn't even been any Bobby Green on the ground either way, right? So like
Paddy can't strike with Bobby Green.
I don't think he can, but something fishy. This fight is so fishy. I'm so scared.
I know. I
This
agree.
is a tough fight because I want everything in my heart wants to say go all in on Bobby Green. But fuck, man, there's something holding me back. There's something holding me back. I don't know what it is. I like the overs, okay? I do think this goes longer. I think Paddy's a tough guy. And if Bobby does control the fucking striking, he likes to showboat a lot and take a lot of time, suck the time off the clock. And yeah, if the over is anything good and parlayable, I'll deal with that.
All of fucking Paddy's fights go over. His fights are fucking boring generally.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the over. I'm leaning Bobby Green too, but I feel like there's something fishy going on in England, baby.
I know. I hear it. I feel it too. Believe me. Believe me, I feel it too.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the co-main event, which is probably a lot of people's main event. We've got the rematch, Tom Aspinall versus Curtis Razor Blaydes for the heavyweight championship. You can call it interim all you want. Whoever wins this fight is the fucking champion in my mind. Tom Aspinall blew his knee out last time in 14 seconds. I thought he looked terrible. I thought he was going to get knocked out, but that was a long time ago. Curtis Blaydes has not looked good lately. I know he beat Jailton Almeida, but he was taken down time and time and time again. If Tom Aspinall, I don't think he's a dumb guy. I'm sure he saw that. And I think Tom Aspinall is not going to stand and strike with this guy, even though I think he could. I think he's still got the better hands. But I don't think he's going to risk that. I think the smartest path for victory here is for Tom to just take him down the same way Jailton did. And I think Tom is a better finisher than Jailton. So I don't think he's going to need to do that for as many times as Jailton had to do. So as much as I want to bet Curtis Blaydes by knockout, like big time, and I bet Curtis Blaydes the first time this fight happened, I won by betting Curtis Blaydes. This time, even though Tom is a huge favorite, I see it. I get it. I think he's got the better hands, and I think he can shoot takedowns and get them and finish the fight on the ground, to be honest. And I will root for the Curtis Blaydes knockout. But give me Aspinall by finish, and I think it's first round, like first or second round. I don't think this fight's going more than 2. What do you think?
I think under 2.5. I also think that anyone that wants to say that Curtis Blaydes is the better wrestler, tell me when he's taken someone down in the last 3 or 4 years.
Exactly.
Right? That's all. That's my argument to Curtis Blaydes being the better wrestler here. He just doesn't do it anymore. He's fallen in love with his hands, and that's what he was. But Curtis doesn't. The problem is the diversity on the hands are so great. It's a basic 1-2, and he has power, right? So I don't see any diversity. There's no angles. There's no hooks. There's no uppercuts. There's fucking just regular boxing, and I think he's out. I think Tom has faster hands here. I don't even think this goes the way you said. I don't think it goes to the ground. I think Tom just knocks him out standing. Same kind of fight that he had with Sergey Pavlovich, but obviously less power coming towards him. So yeah, man, I feel Tom knocks him out, and I think it comes first round. I think it's on a counter, and I think Blaydes will want to stand with him. And I think that's a mistake. I think Curtis Blaydes should wrestle him. See what he does on the ground, on the bottom. But again, we talked about Robocop maybe 5 minutes ago. I can't bank on Curtis Blaydes actually taking this guy down. I can't. So give me Tom Aspinall on under 2.5 for this fight.
Yeah, I think it's going to be quick for sure. We've got Leon Edwards, the welterweight champion, 22-3 versus Belal. Remember the name, Muhammad, 23-3. The first fight was obviously ended in an eye poke. Everybody thought Muhammad was kind of faking it. The pictures the next day, he was not faking it. His eye was fucked up. Belal Muhammad gets an insane amount of grief for being extremely boring, which I do understand. He's not dangerous. He's not finishing anybody not named Sean Brady. He's kind of sprawl and strike, but not strike hard kind of fighter. He'll use his wrestling if he can get it going. I don't expect his wrestling to be overly successful against someone like Leon Edwards. Now, on the flip side, Leon Edwards, he is more of he's a kickboxer. He does use his wrestling pretty decent. He out-wrestled Colby Covington. He's out-wrestled Kamaru Usman, you could say as well. I mean, when he wrestles, he gets the takedowns, and he's good at stuffing shots as well. One thing I don't like about Leon Edwards is he seems to not get grief about being boring, whereas I find his fights fucking boring. I think he's just as boring as Belal Muhammad, personally. I think he's a decision fighter in every sense of the word. Other than that, obviously, he had the wicked comeback head kick of Kamaru Usman. Wicked. No one's going to take that away from him. But I think his fights generally are fucking snooze fests. So I think this is 2 incredibly boring guys. I think all of the overs are live. I would like Belal to win just to piss everybody off and piss Dana White off. Dana White did not want to give this guy a title fight. The guy won so many fights in a row, and Dana would not give him a title fight. And I get it. This is the entertainment business as well. You need an entertaining champion. But, you win that many fights in a row, fuck, you deserve it. So I would love to see Belal piss off Dana White. I think it would be funny. But I have a real tough time seeing how he wins this fight. And I've won a lot of money on Belal. I pick him all the time. I fucking bankrolled him against Gilbert Burns. And I told everybody, he's going to kill Gilbert Burns. He's going to beat him in striking. He's going to beat him wherever. I just don't know how he wins this fight. I don't think he's going to be able to use that Dagestani wrestling that he's training with Khabib all the time with. I don't think the wrestling
is going to be the path to victory here. I mean, maybe it's the pressure fighting. Like he does have a very come forward pressure, but is that going to work on Leon Edwards? I don't know. I think it's a close fight. I think it goes to decision. I think you're probably looking at 4-1, 3-2 for somebody, but I just think Leon Edwards' strikes are going to be heavier. I don't think he's going to get out wrestled. He's in his hometown. Like I don't see how Bilal wins this fight. I really don't, and I'm rooting for him. Give me Leon Edwards. Give me all the overs. Oh, let's go over 2.5, over 3.5, over 4.5. Decision, whatever. Uh, yeah, that's how I see it. Unfortunately, and I don't think it's going to be the most entertaining fight. What do you think?
I think Leon Edwards by decision is probably the play here. Um, what did it go last time? Like one and a little bit, and Leon looked like he matadored him pretty well in round one, and was well on his way to matadoring him again. Bilal, it was a weird fight because Bilal did not push the pace like he would pushing the pace against Gilbert Burns. He was a little bit more laid back. But that could be Leon was countering well, and he was hitting him with a lot of power. Bilal's too durable for a finish here from the Leon Edwards side, and Leon won't is not getting finished by pillow fisted Bilal Muhammad, right? So, I mean, all in all, I feel like the greatest play of this one here are the overs, right? Leon Edwards, I just at minus 225, I think he's more well rounded. I think he might be able to use his wrestling, even though Bilal has a 90% takedown defense. I don't think Bilal will be able to take him down, and if it is he's going to pop right back up, right? Kind of like he did against when Usman took him down in the second fight. The first fight he got taken down like 4 or 5 times. But yeah, so all in all, I think Leon's got the power. I think he's got the range. Bilal might have the volume, but like I don't know if he can. Leon's pretty good at matadoring that raging bull, right? I mean, he's Bilal never. The first fight was weird because it was un-Bilal like. So if you've seen Bilal the way he fought Gilbert Burns and came forward, like all those strikes, t takedowns, whatever. I don't. He didn't do that against Leon. Was he scared? Did he? He was. Leon's a good counterpuncher. Leon has good power and he has good vision and he's champion. And you know what they say: when you're champion, you elevate your game. You rise 30% more, and you can see the rising in Leon. Like you said, I mean, I was on Colby that last fight because I thought he was going to be able to use his wrestling like he always has. But like you said, Leon used his wrestling against the wrestler. So. I mean, it'd be nice to see Bilal win for himself. But yeah, and this is also in Manchester, England. You're not going to strip Leon in Manchester. I can't see a lot of these English fighters losing. Maybe Paddy, that would be about it. The rest of those English are fighters that I think they're pretty good here, but aside from Jake Hadley, because I don't think he wins either. But yeah, man. I think Leon's just overall the better, more well-rounded fighter. I think he's leveled up his game. I think the counter striking and just keep the eyes out of the fuck. Keep the fingers out of the eyes, bro. That's all I'm saying.
That would suck if this fight like didn't finish again. That would like and Bilal Muhammad, if that happens, he's never getting another title shot again. So he almost has to fight through anything that happens.
Let's just put it this way. I'm gonna take the over. I'm gonna take the fight goes, and I would hate to see a fucking eye poke here. Those are the things that kind of pisses me off, right? So.
Yep, I agree. It looks like we're on the same side. Okay, guys, this is a pay-per-view card, so we're definitely going to drop a prop bet, like our favorite bets, probably on Thursday, definitely before Friday, Wednesday or Thursday. These are just our initial predictions. There are times we flip, so come back. Like I'm going to do a lot of tape study for this one. It's a pay-per-view. I've been doing really good. I got a lot in my betting account right now, so I'm going to be placing some big bets. I'm going to be doing more tape and coming back for Wednesday or Thursday with the best bets. Drop us a comment, drop which fights you agree or disagree with. Let us know your favorite pick, and we will be back with our best bets later in the week. Have a good one, guys. We'll talk to you soon.